Okay, today's mini lesson is on stem changing verbs in the present tense. You can see three boxes here in front of you labeled O to UE, E to IE, and E to I stem changers. What we see is that these verbs that are on the left in the yellow O to UE all represent a change, which will be the letter O highlighted in yellow will become a UE when conjugated in the present tense for all forms except for the nosotros. So dormir, to sleep, poder, to be able to, all the way through the list, has a conjugation where the UE replaces the O in each form except for the nosotros and vosotros forms. Likewise, here in this pink box, we can see that the E, highlighted here, will become an IE in every conjugation for the yo, tú, él, ellos forms. The nosotros will be exempt where the E will remain. And the same thing is true for these types of verbs like pedir, repetir, seguir, where the verb will have an E to an I stem change. If you notice in each case, if we count backwards from the end of the word, it should be the second to last vowel. So here's my last vowel, there's my second to last vowel. Last vowel, second to last. Last one, second to last. In words that only have two vowels, this isn't such a big deal. But in words with multiple vowels, like the verb empezar or comenzar, you can tell very easily that this is not an O to UE stem change like you might think, because it's not in the right position. It has to be in the second to last verb position. 1, 2. So as we look through some conjugations of O to UE stem changers, we can see that in the yo form, every single conjugation, they end in O as expected in the present tense, but the O of dormir, the O of poder, volver, almorzar, has switched to a UE. And you can see that's true for the tú form all the way through the pattern, the él, usted, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes forms. As I mentioned previously, only in the nosotros, of course in the vosotros, which we're not using, we'll also see the O remain. Interestingly enough, this verb form, the stem changing change occurs in every verb type, AR, ER, and IR verbs. As you can see, dormir is an IR verb, we have an ES conjugation. Poder is an ER verb, we have the ES, but almorzar is an AR verb, AS. Regardless, we have the appropriate conjugations for the pronoun, but we can see that the actual O has switched to a UE in every form except for the nosotros. Conjugated E to IE stem changers, you can see the same pattern emerging where we have the appropriate O endings for the yo, the ER, AR endings that we would expect, IR endings that we would expect, es, as, all the way through the pattern. But again, our E of querer changed to an IE. The E of empezar changed to an IE. This pattern is throughout except for the nosotros form. Again, we can see that this is not going to be affected by the stem change. If you notice, it's because it doesn't fall into the second position. In each of these cases, the weak vowel that would normally be changing is not going to change because we have a double syllable ending. And our last form, E to I stem changers, we can see that again, the O is there for every single form of the yo, the tú has the appropriate es or as ending, we have the él, usted, all the way through our pattern. But we can see that the E of pedir became an I, the E of repetir became an I, so on and so on. The only form that's exempt is the nosotros, and again, you can see it's not in the correct position to receive the stem change. It's okay. So 3 easy steps to conjugating stem changing verbs. First, as always, identify who the verb is working with. Is it the yo, tú, él, usted, whatever pronoun you're going to be working with. Next, count backwards from the end of the infinitive to the second to last vowel. In all conjugations except for the nosotros and vosotros, we'll make the stem change there. So that's where the O will become a UE, the E and IE, or E to I, respectively, according to the infinitive. And lastly, we need to add the appropriate endings, as we always have for present tense verbs, O, as, a, amos, an for AR verbs, O, es, e, amos or imos, and then N for ER and IR verbs. So if we look at the verb dormir, here we can see the O of dormir in each of these cases, except for the nosotros and vosotros, has changed to the UE. It's being stressed, it becomes the way. Duermo, duermes, duerme, duermen. But the O remains in the nosotros and vosotros. Again, because the word is not being stressed, on that particular vowel, so because of that, the vowel does not break apart. In this case, the O is being stressed, so it becomes the way. Duermo, duermes, duerme. If you look at vosotros, you might say, well, there's one vowel, there's two, so this should be under stress. But if we notice, it has the written accent, so it's pulling the stress away from that O. The O remains. It does not become a UE. Again, with the verb querer, which means to want, we can see in each case the E of querer became an IE in every conjugation except for the nosotros and vosotros, where it remained the E, where we can see again because it's not being stressed, either because of the ending, which is either two syllables, or because the stressed vowel has an accent, and so it's pulling away from this E in red. And our third type, E to I, again, we can see that we have the appropriate endings as we normally would, pido, pides, pide, but the E of pedir became an I in each form except for the nosotros and vosotros because we have the accent written on this word and we have the double vowel ending. Your turn for practice. In just a second, pause the video and see if you can come up with the appropriate present tense conjugations for all of these different types of verbs. Remember, you want to make sure that you have the right endings, but also consider if the verb needs a stem change. Go ahead and pause. Great job. Hopefully you came up with duermo, encuentras, piden, piensan, prefieren, comienza, sirve, puede, and then I left this in red, podemos. The nosotros will not suffer stem changers. So you can see in the yellow we have our O to U stem change. All of these O's became UEs. We have in the pinkish purple color here the E to IE stem change. And in the green we have the E to I. Muchas gracias y buena suerte.